Houston A+ Challenge has been a leader in public education reform since 1997, when we were founded as one of 18 local nonprofits in the nationwide Annenberg Challenge, specifically to stimulate and accelerate reform in the nation's public schools. Our founder, Maconda Brown O'Connor, rallied Houston's business and philanthropic leaders to establish A+ with the mission and vision that all children, no matter what their zip code, deserve access to a high-quality public education that prepares them for success in college, career, and civic life in the 21st century. Houston A+ Challenge's objective is to build a network of high-performing, student-centered middle schools that increase post-secondary readiness, access, and success for children in our region. Through our Leadership Academy and school-based coaching alone, we're aiming to impact up to 60,000 students in 100 schools by 2015. A+ coaches help educators in traditional districts and charters analyze student data, develop new strategies for persistent problems, implement broad-based school change, and engage in weekly coaching cycles to strengthen teaching and learning. We also create external pressure by advocating for public policy changes that would strengthen our existing public schools and also expand the number of high-quality options for students outside the traditional system. And we're continually trying to speed the pace of reform by launching new projects and innovations, such as the technology-rich Mobile Schooling Project that re-envisions the role of teachers as learning coaches who help students tap into the vast power of online resources and networks. A+ is a strategic investment because we're a bridge between research, policy, and practice. We're in the schools, working alongside teachers and principals, doing the hard work of reform. And we share these powerful lessons learned through advocacy and our community-wide speaker series with school board members, state legislators, and the general public. But we're also asking, what's next? How can we do this more efficiently? Where are the successful models that we can learn from? Through our network connections, we have intimate access to what they're learning in Boston, Chicago, New Orleans, and dozens of other cities. And our focus on middle schools is unique. Intuitively, we know that high school is too late to start working on post-secondary readiness. Research indicates that if middle school students aren't on track with a rigorous curriculum, their chances for success are as low as 15%. Houston A+ Challenge employs a team of talented coaches who have track records of success in a wide variety of disciplines. We work to shift the daily practice of educators who will impact students long after A+ has left the school. Before stepping foot in a school, A+ spends a year onboarding school teams through our Leadership Academy. This approach for building buy-in also builds sustainability. We also negotiate with districts to cover a percentage of the cost of our services. Our work provides value because it's networked and systemic. We work with educators at every level in traditional districts, urban, suburban, even rural, and high-performing charters. Increasingly, Houston A+ Challenge measures success in terms of growth in student achievement. We look at state and formative assessments and value-add data to try and pinpoint our impact on each school, classroom, and student. This type of direct impact is still complex to track, since A+ isn't the only force at work in schools, so we also look at other measures. Educators themselves consistently rate our leadership academies and coaching among the best professional development they've had. We also look at student surveys, which report improved opinions about the quality of their teachers and the college-going culture of their schools. We also track progress on specific goals that the schools themselves set with our coaches. At the end of each year, how far have they come? These unique progress measures are perhaps the most useful because they're based on hundreds of hours of A-plus coaching, and they're also part of the continuous improvement model we use to adjust our support of each school. A-plus has worked dozens of reform projects since 1997. So some people don't realize that our current work is focused in middle schools. A big reason for this shift was our experience trying to improve some of Houston's chronically underperforming high schools. We had some successes, but a big takeaway was that high school is just too late to get schools and kids focused on post-secondary readiness. We just need to start this work earlier. Also, because we have Houston in our name, some people assume we only work with Houston ISD. But we also work with dozens of other school districts and charters in a region that serves more than 1.1 million kids, 1/5 of the public school children in Texas. And because A-plus works at all levels, from the classroom to the school board, we genuinely believe we have the potential to positively impact education for each and every one of those children. Since 1997, Houston A-plus Challenge has raised more than $90 million to drive more effective teaching and narrow the achievement gap. We've worked in nearly 200 local schools, impacting more than 10,000 teachers and 150,000 students across the Houston region. We co-founded 4 charter schools, including the first early college high school in Texas. We've strengthened the skills of more than 350 school leaders and trained more than 1,500 educators to build and sustain effective professional learning communities, a movement that the University of Texas identified as the key to guiding the kind of messy professional conversations that are vital to school improvement. Texas is now 49th nationwide in public school funding, $3,000 per student below the national average. Professional development is often the first thing to be cut. So now more than ever, A-plus's support is in high demand. In some districts, we're working with every single middle school as an integral part of their district strategy. Still, our cost-sharing model requires districts to have some skin in the game, to pay for a portion of our services. We subsidize the remainder through private donations. So when public dollars are short, we might not be able to expand as rapidly as we would hope. Houston A-plus Challenge is poised to launch a technology-rich middle school that re-envisions teachers as learning coaches, helping middle school students access a world of high-quality online learning resources. Our mobile school project will hold classes at various institutions in Houston's Museum District to infuse the school with project-based learning. We're also looking for resources to expand our Leadership Academy and Challenge Network to meet the demand of up to 55 school districts in the greater Houston region. Finally, we're hoping to move middle schools, teacher quality, and principal effectiveness to the top of the legislative agenda. And with additional resources, we can continue to provide high-quality data to help our public officials make the best policy decisions. Houston A-plus Challenge has no shortage of projects that we'd love to launch if the resources were there. As a think tank, we're constantly exposed to promising initiatives. And because we've worked in a broad range of areas, we know we have the internal capacity to get the job done. Parent engagement stands out as a key area that A-plus is poised to take on if we had additional resources. We are seeing a great unmet need to educate and mobilize parents as advocates for their children. We're also finding great ideas for helping schools better utilize technology, both to engage students and to make public education more efficient and effective. So with your support, we could expand into these and other high-impact areas as we move forward.